Hello, 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 and welcome to Mompreneur HQ, where we are excited today as the last Wednesday of the month of September, where we have been celebrating Self-Love September in honor of my birthday, right? And so if you have gained anything from this month's series, please share that information with us in the comment field. If you're here live, hashtag live in the comments. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. Either way, you're getting some juicy content, and we are so glad to be able to bring to you our Self-Love September series. And today we have a special guest with us, Miss Marsha Lynn Norfleet, who is going to talk to us specifically about self-love. And she's brought some tips on how we can do that, how we can achieve that, and why it's important. So without further ado, let me introduce you and welcome Miss Marsha Lynn Norfleet.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Rashida.
All right. So Marsha is a mom of two and beloved grandmother of four. She is a creative and passionate about teaching individuals how to take time for themselves and to cherish those special moments. Though working in the private banking industry for years, Marsha gravitated to designing keepsake jewelry for women and men. This hobby eventually evolved into a business, and in October 2016, Marsha launched Keepsakes by Marsha Lynn, which creates inspirationally based jewelry and products that promote self love, self discovery, and empowerment. In 2021, Marsha has now added to the list of achievements. An author, she has her first book entitled Learning to Love Yourself. Again, hello and welcome to the Mompreneur HQ community, Miss Marsha.
Hello, and thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I was so excited since last week. I'm very old school, so I write everything down, like literally. I have a podcast with my son, and I write it down like verbatim almost. And he's like, "Why do you do that?" I said, "Because I'm old school. Just leave me alone. Let me work with how I work, and this is what I do."
I do.
If I could had a notebook, I would have did it in a notebook.
And I wouldn't be mad because I do the same thing.
Definitely.
All right, so we know that you're a mom and grandmom. So, but can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and this self-discovery of how you went from financial industry to creative doing jewelry and now to author? What has
Oh
that
my
journey been like?
gosh, that journey has been crazy actually. But if I really sit back and think about it, it really wasn't. It kind of flowed. I was always, I figured, a creative. I used to love, I still do. I love photography. I love nature and pictures and things like that. So that creative side kind of just started building. And then one day, I feel like out of nowhere came this love of creating jewelry and beads. And literally I would go in the bead store and could stay there forever and just ooh and ah over beads where everybody really didn't understand it, and just the colors popped. I could picture the designs in my head, and I started really just doing it for myself initially. And when I started wearing the jewelry, I was like, "Oh, where'd you get that?" And I'm like, I made it." And they're like, "Oh, could I have one? Should you do you sell them?" Like, not really, but and that part of me was birthed from there. The writing I've always done, never considered a book until I befriended our beloved Robin Devonish, pen published author maven. And she said, "You have a book in you." And I was kind of like, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. And just this whole author thing came out of a conversation. And I'm all about just love. I'm that empathetic, sympathetic, compassionate person. I just want everybody to win. I'm crying over people's shoulder. That's just me. And it's all about just loving, seeing everybody excel. And I felt in writing this in a journal, it would help people to trying to kind of forego that learning curve of learning themselves, because the book is really helping you find purpose. It's helping you find your destiny. It's helping you find the passion within inside of you. And once I wrote this book, you know, first to announce it here, I have other books in the works. So I kind of feel like once you find that thing inside you,
Mhm.
it will, and you walk into it, it will start birthing other things that you didn't even know that were there, that just may have become dormant. And you start just walking into your purpose and your destiny. And that came with me actually doing these processes. And I'm going to give you these few tips today of just finding out who you are. And if you can find this out earlier in life then later, I think it's a great stepping stone and a great tool for people, because then you're not backtracking yourself. But anytime you find it is a great time. But we're trying to get rid of that whole learning curve. I'm trying to help somebody a little bit earlier.
Oh, I hear that. Um, Thank you. That's good stuff because this is a mompreneur,
Yes,
mom entrepreneur community. And so a lot of times we put ourselves on the back burner.
absolutely.
Everyone else's issue becomes our problem.
Correct.
Everyone else's urgency becomes our emergency.
Yeah.
So can you talk to us a little about how important it is to put ourselves first, or at least put ourselves in the forefront, and love ourselves so that we're in a better place to be able to love others?
Absolutely, absolutely. Like I actually started before I even get to the tips. And I'm just going to kind of look at my notes for a minute, because the first thing I wanted to do is I said to myself, now what's the best thing to do? Let's define self-love
Yeah.
and what it means to you. So if you look at it in the dictionary, it's defined as a regard for one's own wellness, happiness, your own well-being. And I think we tend to forget that in our busy lives. We forget about us because, as you said, we're doing everything for everyone else. And we are important. And if we tend to neglect ourselves, nothing gets done. So, first and foremost, I wanted to define that. And in the book, I define it as self love takes practice,
Mhm.
because people don't realize it takes practice, especially when you're the one that's always doing for everybody. Now, focus, and it's a desire to make it happen for yourself. So, you have to really change your mindset. Self love is a mindset change. Um, People tend to just continually go on constantly just doing and doing and doing. You have to change your mindset to realize that you are important. It's not bad to be about you. It's
Mhm.
not bad to say, okay, I need to do something for myself for a minute. And people get guilted for doing something for themselves. Um, and
Mhm.
you can't fall into the guilt trap. I've been there. I'm sure you've been there. Everybody has been there, because you're feeling guilty and you feel obligated to do something, but you have to remember to take care of you first. So we're saying that now many people go through life, they never learn to love themselves properly or at all. And we don't realize that.
Mhm.
And that's important. We don't learn to love ourselves properly at all. And the result is usually a lonely, miserable, or unhappy person,
Mm.
because we have not learned us. And you're just going through the motions of life on a continual basis, not even understanding who you are. So if you don't know who you, where does that leave you? Where does that put you? And that's something like to really think about, because when we're unhappy about things, it's like, hey, do I really know what I want or what I desire? What my purpose is? What my passion is? What do I do? Why am I here on the earth? So these are the type of questions that I sit and I ponder, that
Mhm.
I actually pray about, because I've the one thing I've always said, and I even get it just from being in the church, is that, Lord, when I leave here and leave this earth, I want to leave empty. I want to know me. I want to understand me. I want to walk into my purpose and my passion in life. I
Mhm.
want to be able to touch people, encourage people, love on people. That's who I am. But you don't get to know that if you're just doing everything for everybody else. You
Mhm.
don't get to understand you. So we have to remember that loving ourselves is a physical journey as well as a spiritual journey. It's
And I'm glad you brought that up because we were actually talking about this in our marriage class at church this weekend and talking about self-love. And a lot of times, the conversation is had that, oh, my spouse completes me. And, the big movie scheme where I don't know if it was Jerry Maguire or not, but where he's saying, you complete me. And it's like, no, you
mm-mm.
have to be a whole entire
Come
person
on here,
by yourself.
whole
You have to
person.
learn how to love yourself in order to love someone else. And if you go into a relationship thinking that someone is going to complete you, you are going to be disappointed,
Correct.
disgruntled, and like you said, just miserable because your expectation of your spouse is too great.
Yes, absolutely.
They don't have the responsibility of making you happy,
Nope.
making you complete, right? So you have to learn how to love yourself first,
Correct.
because if you don't, you're actually robbing your spouse the opportunity to love you the way that you
Correct.
love.
Correct.
You don't know how you want to be loved. How are they supposed to figure that out? So if they bring
Exactly.
you roses and you like, I don't like that. My love language ain't roses, it's acts of
That's
service. Well,
it.
how would I know if you don't know yourself,
That's
right?
right.
So it gets really confusing if you don't love yourself first. And so I really love what you said, and having to be able to understand your life's purpose. And you don't learn it overnight. It's not
No,
something that comes magically to you, right?
no.
You have to do that inner work.
It's a process,
Mhm.
absolutely. And exactly what you said. And that's my mantra, and it's actually on my book. If you don't learn to love yourself, how can you honestly love anyone else?
Mm.
And people don't realize that in life. So then you go through also picking wrong people, wrong spouses, wrong relationships, totally, because you don't know you, so you're pulling off of that energy around everybody else,
Mhm.
and sometimes that's not it. Sometimes that's not the person. And we're hopeful always, and we're prayerful. I'm a Christian girl. We're always prayerful and hoping that we get the correct relationships. But in some cases, when you're still trying to find yourself, you will draw who you are at the time. So if you haven't learned yourself, what are you really drawing to yourself?
Mm.
And then when we fall into traps and issues, it's because we didn't know who we were.
Yeah.
And then now we have to turn around and redirect and change the whole focus on the people actually that we brought into our lives who really didn't belong there,
Mm.
and the things, and because everything comes together, everything comes together, it's all full circle. So you want to be able to definitely find these things out early in life. It's so important. When I talk to my sons, and it's something that, my sons are adults now, but even when they were younger, I always looked at them to see, what do they really like to do? What's their passion? At young ages, you have to find those things out. What are they drawn to? What are they really playing with? Because when you find your passion, you find your purpose.
Amen.
And that's the whole thing, finding your passion, you find your purpose. That's the thing that you were designed to do and designed to be. So I'm real stickler for that. I do it with my grandkids now too. And it just becomes, you have to be an observer.
Mhm.
You have to be observer of the people around you. So when you find those things out in your kids, which in something that I did and I'm very proud of doing, and I didn't even really understand it myself. And
Mm.
my oldest son now is almost 30 years old, and I was doing that when he was 2 and he was 3,
Mm.
because it was something that was innate in me. So definitely, definitely.
That's good because sometimes we like to live vicariously through our children, so we push all this stuff on them that they don't
Yeah,
want to do. So I totally agree with your statement, being able to identify and be an observer and see what
yeah,
they're like, and kind of steer them in that direction. I think
right,
that's what we're supposed to do as parents.
exactly.
And for those of you who are just joining us, we are here with Miss Marsha Norfleet. She is an author, and she is the owner of Keepsakes by Marsha Lynn. Um, and we have her speaking today about self-love and learning how to love yourself, which is one of the titles of her book. And so we're going to go ahead and unleash Miss Marsha to give us our tips and strategies on how we can do just that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So first, we want to know. I'm talking to this group of great mompreneurs, and we know how we have these busy lives. So we know time management is key. Time management is important. So we're trying to put in processes and tips where we could learn to love ourselves, but we're also aware of time, right? So my first tip is we're setting aside 30 minutes to an hour. I'm not going to go below 30 minutes because I believe you still have to have quality time. And if you're going to reach for quality time, the 30 minutes is like the ideal time to kind of get yourself quiet, get yourself acclimated, see what you want to do or whatever throughout the day. And so this time is going to be dedicated to you. You're going to use this as quiet time, reflection time, meditation time, or simply taking a power nap. Maybe you're just tired. Take a power nap. Is nothing the matter with it. It's designed, this time is designed to rejuvenate you, settle your mind, moms in particular who are usually busy and the central part of most households. But if we're weary and we're drained, let me tell you, that whole operation is going to completely crash. Completely. So if we don't want this type of thing to happen, so we have to make sure that we're having this time for ourselves. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, tip number 2, let's go on. Picking a reading selection to complete for the week. Now, some people be like, I don't want to read. I don't feel like reading. I don't want to do that. Now, it's not only an actual book. You can have something that's enjoyable to you. It can be an audible book. It can be a magazine. It could be a news article. But these things are definitely something that's going to empower you and your business. You're a mompreneur. You're doing business. You want new ideas. You want to find different things to do. So this is your time to take for yourself and also one up on your business, because this is what we try to do. We trying to make the world great and leaving our imprint in the world. So this right here, come on. Take these reading selections and open up your mind to new and better things, right? We want to be smart people. We want to be smart entrepreneurs. So this is very important, especially for creatives. I'm a creative person, so I like to look at things, tangible things inside magazines and newspapers. And we don't realize that those things are promptings. It gives us ideas. And when you're creating even content, you're creating a product or idea, this is your time to pick up something and hopefully that it sparks in your mind a new idea or a new thing or a new experience. So that's my second one. All right. So tip number 3, because I'm trying to be good on time. I'm trying to be good. We're going to listen to inspirational or positive music. You can pick any time, but my preference is in the morning when I wake, and whatever you like to listen to that inspires you in the morning, that's going to put you in a positive mode, that's going to make your day, that's going to put a smile on your face. And we know light, happy music is something that's usually enjoyable for some people. Sometimes it's just jazz. You don't want any words. Sometimes it's that thing that inspires, or for people like myself, I love a good praise and worship early in the morning. That gets me going. I'm lean on God all day. Amen and hallelujah. Amen. So we have to remember that these endorphins that it pulls from that happy place in the morning, these are mood boosters. This can change your mood. So maybe you had the night before people was getting on your nerves or whatever the case. You could get up in the morning, you put on this inspirational music and watch your mood change, because those natural endorphins in your body start to activate. And this is commanding your day. You're changing your mood. You're starting it off fresh. You're starting it off new. So this definitely is something that's important. Number 4, I think I'm at number 4. Take yourself out on a date by yourself. We tend to lean heavily on company. And finding yourself and loving yourself, sometimes you have to forego the company. Sometimes you have to say, I'm going to just go out I'm going to go shopping by myself. I'm going to go to dinner, lunch, breakfast, whatever it is by myself and enjoy my own time. I'm going to enjoy me. I'm going to let go, maybe you drop the kids off to school, or if you're still working 9 to 5, take that lunch date, go on out there by yourself and get to know you, meditate with you.
Mm.
If it's a nice day outside, take a walk and embrace nature. I'm such a nature buff. I will take pictures of anything and everything. And those are things and people say, you so corny, but these are
Oh,
things that
beautiful.
make me happy. I get joy. So find those things during this time that make you happy and you follow that path. And that's what's important. Don't let anybody else lead you off of that path. That, like I said, people say, you corny. I'm like, that's what I like. That's what I like. That's what I'm going to do. And that's my creative point. And that's my strategies throughout the day or the week because I'm taking this time to be by myself and enjoy my own time. And people don't realize that time by yourself is important. You turn that phone off if you can,
Mhm.
and you just sit there and you have a nice meal. You listen to your music while you do whatever you do that's important to you, but calming and peaceful because self love is about being calm and peaceful and enjoying yourself and learning yourself and
Mm.
getting thoughts about what you like or you dislike. That's finding out who you are. That's finding how, and we tend to gravitate, like I said, towards other people. And then sometimes you're with people so much you're becoming that other person, and we don't realize that as well. You're losing yourself and
Mm.
other people. One of the things in quick stories with my sons, when they finally left the home and I had to sit by myself, I didn't know what Marsha wanted. I didn't know what Marsha liked, what Marsha wanted to eat. I'm like, I was eating and doing all the things the kids did that I lost me. So
Mhm.
it's important to take that time out for you by yourself because then you tend to you lose yourself and don't even realize it. And to regain it back, though I did, and I'm thankful, it was a conscious decision and effort that I took to regain back who Marsha is and my own identity. So learning and knowing your identity is key. Lastly, this I believe this is the most important one. Learn to say no.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. When I tell you this word, 2 letters, frees you from things you never wanted to do in the first place.
True, true.
But because you feel obligated or you're sympathetic at that time, you're empathetic, the compassion part of you, you're like, okay, been there, done that. It is not healthy. It is not healthy.
Mhm.
And we feel bad when we're saying no to people. You can't feel bad. You can't feel guilty. You have to be able to say no because you become overwhelmed. And we're not trying to be overwhelmed in our day because we want to have our day planned out, knowing what we want to do and how we're going to do it. And I understand when things just come up and you have to deal with those things. But if you're going by the plan of your day and someone's calling you with some craziness or whatever, and you're like, and it's going to disrupt what you really need to get done, and it's not really necessary. I'm sorry, I can't do that right now. I'll let you know when. You can be polite about it. It's not a nasty word. You don't have to be nasty. You can say it with that undertone of love under it, and people after a while they get it because when you say no to people, sometimes it's like like
How dare you?
yeah, you say no. But when you say it authentically and genuinely with love and grace, they get it. Believe me, they get it. It is not a bad word. So stop trying to accommodate others and being able to say no. Be truthful because we don't want to be aggravated and the such. And then lastly, because I know we're going on time, I just wanted to say so these are my 5 tips. These are my 5 tips, lady. I hope you actually attempt to do them and be active and just learn to love yourself and understand yourself because it's definitely an important thing in society today, especially in this busy crazy environment that we live in. And I also just want you guys to know that I hope these things aren't something that's I hope it's something that is beneficial to you and that you all try to incorporate them into your daily schedules because it's important and we want to do this. And lastly, I just want you also to remember that these exercises aren't meant to add to your day to make you feel like you're being overwhelmed, but they're meant to take away. And the takeaway is learning yourself, being calm, loving yourself, getting that passion, that desire that you need, the love for your own self and your own being, and then being the great mompreneurs that we know that you are. And that's all I got for you guys today. I'm trying to stay on track. So I just
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Thank you so much, Marsha, for accepting the invite to come and share with us on today with
thank you.
September. Just before we wrap up, I have this segment that I call Mama's Jam because it's basically trying to figure out what Mama likes, right? So you are Mama in this situation, and we want to know what's your jam. So I'm going to ask you 3 quick, easy questions. Just answer the one that's right for you, and
Okay.
then we get to know a little more about you through this question.
Okay.
So really quick, coffee or tea?
Coffee girl.
Oh, coffee. So do you know that today is National Coffee Day?
Yes, I do.
Okay, get free coffee or something? Go ahead. All right. Beach or safari?
Oh, beach. I love water.
Me too. Flight or cruise?
A cruise. It's all
Really?
about the water.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Excellent. Well, I'm so glad that you were able to share with us on today.
Thank
We
you.
are celebrating Self-Love September, and you are closing us out. And here at the Mompreneur HQ, we help moms to start, grow, and scale home-based virtual businesses so that they can build the life of their dreams without neglecting themselves or their families in the process. And we do that through coaching, courses, and community. So if you are interested in having a little brief virtual meeting with me on Zoom, I would love to have you to be able to discuss what your business is, what your plans are, and if I can help you and if we're a good fit. So you can reach out to me and set up a clarity call at www.themompreneurhq.com/clarity dash call. And that's a 20-minute call just for us to shoot the breeze about your business, your goals, and how I can help you. All right. And let me think, is there anything else? Yeah. So Marsha,
Yes.
did your book come out yet?
I have the final proof, which I'm going through the final proof. So I'm hoping maybe the second week in October. I'm hoping.
Well,
So
hey, when the book is actually available, definitely come back into the mompreneur community. Let us know it's out, and so that we can have an opportunity to look at, purchase your book so that we can support you as an author and entrepreneur. And
thank you. Because it's still available for pre-order, but still not officially out until
okay, so
definitely.
pre-orders are
Yes,
available.
yes.
Okay. And did you happen to have the link for your pre-order?
My pre-order, it's on the marshanorfleet.com.
All right. So we have the website, marshanorfleet.com.
Yeah.
And I guess that's it for today. We are so glad to have had you. I'm wishing you the very best with your book launch and
Thank
Keepsakes by Marsha Lynn.
you.
And we will definitely welcome you back into the community. If you're not already a part of the group, feel free to join the group. And
I've joined. Yay!
right, and yes, so we can share some knowledge and information for mompreneurs, because we help a little bit with everything as far as marketing and starting your business, your LLC, trademark conversations, all that good stuff. So we like to help our moms to excel at business and in life. So thank you all for participating. Again, if you hashtag live, get your live hashtag replay if you're watching the replay, and let us know what you thought about our segment on today. So give us some feedback, because we would love to give you more shows and episodes just like this. Have a great day. Till next time.
Bye, everyone.